Hey guys, Lucas Soccer here. Today we are going to be looking at Dracotail, and this is not just going to be like a normal Dracotail build. This is going to be the dragon build that you've seen going around in the format, and really what I think personally is the best build of Dracotail. And if I think Dracotail is the best deck of the format, then I would deem this as even the best deck in the format. Let's go ahead and look at some of these combos. So starting off here in the first combo we are looking at, we have Dark End Evaporation Dragon. This can also be Light in Sublimation Dragon. I think that's the full name for it. Either one. These cards are basically interchangeable in every aspect in the deck, and so it can be either one of them. And then we have Dracotail, Malulu, and any monster card. You can technically do this combo with basically any Dracotail monster. For these specific ones, I'm going to show you what happens if you open the different Dracotail names so that we can get like a better interaction of how you really use them with certain names. So starting off, we're going to use the effect of Darken to special summon itself from your hand. Usually, if you're going first and doing the go first combo, you're going to banish this Chaos Star Source Dragon. This card is mainly used as like a board breaker with 5 mana. So like if you're playing something like Mitsurugi, you'll use this card like with 5 mana at the end of their main phase to kind of clear out all their back row. That's why you play this card. You don't really make it on like turn 3 that often, or turn 2 really. And so you can banish it for your Darkened Dragon and your Lightened Dragon. Totally fine. Now we're going to use the effect to go ahead and Fusion Summon. Taking both the cards in our hand into our Arthalion. We're going to go Chainlink 1 Arthalion, targeting both our monsters, and Chainlink 2 Malulu. It's going to get both of our cards back here, setting a Ketsu. And then we can go ahead and flip up that Ketsu to go ahead and add a Lucas. From there, we're going to normal summon the Lucas, use the effect to add a 5 mana. And from here, we can go ahead and link off our Arthalion and our Dark End Dragon into a Seals. We're then going to use 5 mana to fusion with our Lucas and our Malulu to make a Secretarion Dragon. And here's where the deck's going to get a little bit cool. We're going to use the effect of Arthalion and our Lucas here. And we're going to set a Rahu and special summon from the graveyard. One cool thing with this build of the deck is we actually get to use the recursion of our Arthalion a lot better than in most other builds. Being able to like summon it back on the same turn that you're really using it to extend, as well as overlaying with it so that it doesn't get lost forever and you can keep using that same one. Now we're going to use the Secretarium. We're going to put our Lucas back and then special summon back that Malulu from our graveyard, just so it's an extra disruption in our field. And then we can overlay both of our fusion monsters to go into a Hope Harbinger because we are not locked into fusion monsters yet. Now we're going to do a Rahu Dracotail. Because we're locked into dragons, we're just going to summon another Arthalion just because it's the only thing we can always summon here. Main reason we're doing that though is to send an Urgula, because that's going to trigger to go ahead and set, but then we can also use the Urgula effect to add back our 5 mana. So this is going to be our end board here. We are getting to one of the trap cards, and then we have Malulu, Seals, Hope Harbinger, and 5 mana in hand. This is literally every possible thing you could need. One cool thing here is that Seals is going to be able to tag out either into Pan or Urgula, depending on the situation, after you use the effect to bounce. And you can either fusion with the Malulu using that card, or you can use 5 mana to go into something else, which basically just gives you value for everything you could possibly need. That's it for the first combo. Let's look at the next. In this next combo here, we have Dracotail 5 mana, as well as the Light Sublimation Dragon any monster. Like I said, these dragons are basically interchangeable. So we're going to start off with summoning the Sublimation Dragon, banishing the Star Source like we talked about. That's the correct banish for this situation. We're going to use the effect of Fusion Summon, make our Arthalion, bounce back our 2 cards, and also set the Ketsu again. From here, we're going to flip up our Ketsu. We're going to add Lucas, and then we're going to normal summon Lucas, and use Lucas effect to go ahead and add our Urgula. And then from here, we're going to do the same thing as before. Link off the Arthalion, link off the Light End, go to Seals, use the 5 mana, fusion with the Urgula and the Lucas to make a Secretarion. And we're going to go Chainlink 1 Arthalion, Chainlink 2 Urgula, Chainlink 3 Lucas, whatever the Chainlink ends up being for the 2 monsters. We're going to set a Flame as well as a Rahu, and then we are going to special back our Arthalion. Here we're going to use the effect of Arthalion to put our Lucas at the bottom, and then special summon the Light Sublimation Dragon from our graveyard. And then we're going to go ahead and overlay with these 2 monsters to go into a Hope Harbinger. Because we don't have Malulu in rotation, it's better to sequence it like this. You can technically get the Malulu in rotation if you value that disruption more by adding that instead of the Urgula. But personally, I like having the level 8 Light Dragon on the field, and I'll show you guys why in this combo. Next thing we're going to do, though, we're going to use the effect of Rahu. We're going to send a Pan from our to the graveyard to make another Arthalion. And then we're going to use the effect of Pan to go ahead and set the other trap card. And we can use the Arthalion or the Urgula to go ahead and add back our 5 mana. So this is going to be your end board. And what I meant by I like having the level 8 dragon is you can actually fuse with it to get something of super good value. We're going to use our Seals bounce during our opponent's turn. Seals is then going to special summon out a Dark Evaporation Dragon because we have our level 8 Light Dragon here on the field. And then we can use the 5 mana to go ahead and fusion with both of those monsters to go ahead and make a Light and Darkness Dragon Lord. So not only are you setting yourself up to have a very, very good mirror match situation because the Secretarian Dragon is just already on your field, it also sets you up to just make a ridiculous negate that is like a hard Omni 3 times. One other cool thing with this is once they do burn out all the negates of your Light and Darkness Dragon Lord, So say they activate 3 cards, all of them negated. This card only has 400 attack. It still activates because it's a mandatory card, and it's going to be the immediate chain after a card is activated. So if you activate something like Dracotail Flame, immediately after that card is activated, Chainlink 2 is going to be this Light and Darkness Dragon Lord. So it's essentially like chain blocking all of your cards for the rest of the time that this card is on the field. And because it has less than 1,000 attack, it's actually not going to end up negating your own card, but it still has to activate because it's mandatory. So once they burn through all of these, your Flame and your Horn aren't going to be ashable anymore. So you get like a lot of cool interactions like that. Let's look at the next combo. Now this combo is super specific. It involves us opening a Dragon, either the Light Ender Darken, and Lucas with no other monster. But we can still combo with just those two, and I'll show you how. We're going to start by normal summoning the Lucas and using the effect to add an Urgula. And then we're going to special summon out this Light and Sublimation Dragon and use the effect to go ahead and fuse with both of those. We're going to make an Arthalion. Then we're going to Chainlink 1 Arthalion, Chainlink 2 Lucas, Chainlink 3 Urgula. We're going to set a Rahu, a Ketu, and then add back our Lucas and our Urgula. Next thing we're doing, we're going to link up both those, make a Seals, use Ketu to add 5 mana, and we can activate the 5 mana to go ahead and fuse with both the cards in our hand to make our Secretarium, trigger the Arthalion to special back, and then we can use our Urgula to go ahead and add our 5 mana back to the hand. We're then going to use the Secretarium, special back the Dragon from our graveyard by putting back the Lucas, and then we can make a Hope Harbinger, activate our Rahu, and then special summon our Arthalion, which is going to trigger the Pan and 5 mana because we haven't used that yet to go ahead and set both the traps. So in this situation here, we basically got to everything that the normal combo has. The only thing we didn't get to is the 5 mana in hand, and that's because we had to add it back in Fusion Summon with it. But if the only other 3 cards in your hand are like not usable cards, like say for some reason they hand looped you in the draw phase somehow, and you only have 2 cards to play with, this is still an insane board and is going to be more than likely more than enough than what you'll need for everything here. I'm going to show you one more combo here. This is going to be involving some little bit weird cards involving the Tachyon stuff. I figured it's worth showing off since some people were looking at it, and I wanted to show you guys how you can sequence correctly to get the most value out of all these cards. Do I think it's the best way to play? Maybe. I think it is something that you could definitely consider in the list going forward, but let's just look at that first. So in this hand, we have 5 mana, any monster, and Light Sublimation Dragon. Like I said, this can be light or dark. Doesn't matter. They're basically the exact same card. One thing that's going to be different in this combo is we are going to utilize the Tachyon cards that I just talked about. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's the best way to play, but it is a reasonable option to play. It gives you a lot of different lines, and honestly, it adds just like the most powerful ceiling that you can to this deck here without adding like infinite bricks to your deck. It really only has 2 with it. So let's just look at the combo, and then you guys can decide for yourself if that's what you really want to do, if that's what you want to decide with the deck. So we're going to go ahead and summon this Sublimation Dragon, use the effective Fusion Summon. There goes our 5 mana and our Fuwalos. We are going to make an Arthalion, add back these 2, and then use 5 mana to set Ketu. Here's a little bit different sequencing though. Before we actually activate the Ketu, we're going to go ahead and overlay into Divine Golden Shadow Dragon Dracotail. I literally just call this guy the Dragon Xyz. I didn't know that's what its name actually was until right now. But we're going to summon him. On the summon, it adds a Galaxy Eyes card, or sorry, a Galaxy or Tachyon card. So we're going to add Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Primal. We're going to special summon the Primal here to our field because we want the body, and that is going to activate on summon to go ahead and add a Tachyon Transmigration. And then we're going to use the effect of Shadow to go ahead and detach to summon a number 107 Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. If you guys don't know what this Transmigration card does, it is absolutely ridiculous. If you control a Galaxy Eyes monster, activate as Chainlink 2 or higher, negate the activation of your opponent's spell, trap cards, or monster effects activated before this card in this chain. And if you do, shuffle the negated cards on the field into the deck. Then if you have Galaxy Eyes Dragon on your field, you can activate this card from your hand. So we obviously have this card on our field. We're going to be able to activate our Transmigration from our hand and just like kind of clear out the entire chain link. So if they go chain link 7 yummy monsters, we're going to slam this card from our hand. Everything on the field gets shuffled back into the deck, and everything they had fully negated. Doesn't matter. They can't do anything with them. Ridiculous card. And we're getting this on Summon 5 as well. So if they do have Nib, you can technically use this as Nib protection to keep you safe for the rest of the whole turn. Next up, we're going to flip up our Ketu. We're going to then normal summon our Lucas, use the effect to go ahead and add Urgula, and then we're going to activate 5 mana to go ahead and Fusion Summon. Just like before, we're going to fuse with our Lucas and our Urgula, go for a Secretarium, Chainlink 1 Arthalion, Chainlink 2 Urgula, Chainlink 3 Lucas. We're going to set both of our traps here, and then we can special summon that Arthalion because it was on the chain. We're going to use Secretarium to then go ahead and revive our dragon from the graveyard, and we can go ahead and link 2 into Seals, and then overlay our fusion monsters into Hope Harbinger. One thing I forgot to here is you can Urgula, add back your 5 mana, so you're also going to have that in your hand as well. But this is the board. You have 2 trap cards, 5 mana in hand, the Transmigration on the field, Seals into Malulu, that's another like 2 disruptions. Then you're also going to have the Harbinger. This board is literally unbreakable, and it's like any Dracotail monster gets you to this point, plus a dragon, and then any monster, right? You can also get here technically if you open Lucas plus the Sublimation Dragon, you just lose the 5 mana in your hand, but you get to like literally everything. This is what I really consider to be the best deck of the format right now. I will say that this deck has one problem going into events, and it's Lunalite. There really isn't a good out 2 lagger for this deck that you can play that's just accessible through engine. I've looked over basically every rank 8. I've looked over every cool interactionable card that you can really get to with fusion summoning, and I just haven't found one yet. If you guys do think that you found a very good out, leave it in the comment section down below, because I'd love to hear about this great solution that you guys have found. Regardless, if you guys wouldn't mind commenting, and subscribing, I would really appreciate it. And we will be having a dude spreadsheet come out later this week, so if you guys are looking forward to that, check around Wednesday, Thursday. I think that's going to be our release day for it. Either way, though, I appreciate you just watching the video. I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. Thanks. Bye-bye.